culture where we keeping it on pressure, stay away from all the vultures. No scavengers here, just keeping it real. Big got it out the mud, but it's still so clear. So sit back, relax, and just let us lead you. If you're trolling for no reason, then we don't need you. It's Big XL, he can't be stopped. Riding dirty forever, the home of real hip hop. Ride dirty, tell me y'all can't harm. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty. Ride dirty, tell me y'all can't harm. I'm living fly in the sky with the stars. Ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty, ride dirty.
What up, world? It's your boy, XL. This is the Ridin Durty Show, where we bridge the gap between hip-hop and everyday life. I gotta say one time for the good people over at WBHH.com. That's WeBlazingHipHop.com. You can always check out our interviews there. Also, one time for the good people over at WRFG 89.3 FM. Always check us out there on all our rebroadcasts. Okay, all right, now, I got to say one time for everybody, man, who is staying safe. Y'all definitely be careful, because the coronavirus is out there, and don't let it get you. All right, stay safe out there, and just stay safe. Stay safe. Don't go overboard, but stay safe. Okay? All right. Gotta say one time for everybody who checks in on our daily song battle show, The Duel. One time for all those good people. One time for all the good people who are just trying to be good people. All right. Gotta say one time for our sponsors. One time for the good people over at Liquor Lollipops. Liquor Lollipops is a premium hard candy that's designed to taste like your favorite alcoholic beverage. Definitely visit them at liquorlollipops.com. Find out what they got in store for you, and find out about some of the amazing flavors, and find out how you can have them at your next party, or you can possibly be a brand ambassador. Also, one time for the good people over at the I'm So Shirt Company. The I'm So Shirt Company designs shirts with you in mind, designed and created for you to rep who you are and where you're from. Be sure to visit them at the I'mSoShirt.com. Again, that's I'mSoShirt.com. Find out how you can buy your shirt, or find out how you can possibly become a brand ambassador. Anytime you visit our sponsors, make sure you let them know you heard about their product from Vic XL and the Ridin Durty Show. Okay, today is Wednesday, March the 11th. I got some celebrity birthdays I got to run down real quick. First of all, I got to say happy birthday to my second favorite Laker of the year. My man Anthony Davis turns 27 years old today. He got hit with a loss yesterday, but had an awesome weekend, so definitely happy birthday to AD, who turns 27. Happy birthday to famed actor, star of the hit show Empire, my man Terrence Howard, turns 51 years old today. Former member of Destiny's Child and actress Miss LaToya Luckett, she turns 39 years old today. Houston legend, the master of the grills. One time, my man Paul Wall, happy birthday to him. He turns 39 years old today. Also, got to say happy birthday to former member of Squad Up. That's Lil Wayne's former collective. My man Gutter turns 37 years old today. And Bay legend, Mr. Andre Nicotina, turns 50 years old today. So definitely happy birthday to all of them. I always like to tell you guys, a great way to basically wish a person a happy birthday is by checking out what they do, checking out some old footage, old videos, or just checking out their music, man. So definitely support those people. Now, as I move on over to my Facebook page, I gotta say happy birthday to my man Corey Freeman. You might know him. He has a company called Core Fit. Make sure you hit him up if you want to get in shape. Also gotta say happy birthday to my man Crad, Hit Class Crad. Middle Georgia, you know what, I'm not even going to call him a Middle Georgia producer, because his music is great and it should be worldwide, but definitely my man Hit Class Crad, definitely happy birthday to him. He's an R&B singer as well as a producer and engineer. All right, got to say happy birthday to rapper Shout Man, representing that O and that L. Definitely happy birthday to him. Also got to say happy birthday to my man Slim Gotti. Slim Gotti definitely representing, doing his thing. Happy birthday to my man Slim Gotti. And got to say happy birthday to rapper Tariq Spinks. All right, the aforementioned people, the people I just mentioned, have all been members of the Ridin Durty Show, been guests on the Ridin Durty Show. So if you get a chance, go back and check out some of the interviews and, rock with them. All right? Okay. All right. Now, let's see what we got going on in hip-hop news before I bring on our guest. Let's see. We definitely know one thing that's going on in the world is the coronavirus, and we got a lot of artists who are definitely responding to that. But you know what? Y'all know this female MC. She goes by the name of Doja Cat. Well, if y'all know like I know, Doja Cat was a lot darker a few years ago. If you get a chance, check her out. And she's definitely been accused of lightening her skin, kind of like Charlamagne the God. If you know her, find out if that's true. Okay? Gotta say rest in peace to the mother of Floyd Mayweather's 3 children. She was tragically found dead in her car in her home in California. So we definitely got to figure out and find out what's going on with the mother of Floyd Mayweather's 3 children, and hopefully there's no foul play, and hopefully we won't see nothing coming Floyd's way, because that's no type of heat that he definitely wants in his arena. All right, one time for my man Chance the Rapper. He definitely took over Chicago radio and celebrated his marriage and his anniversary. That was a very dope surprise, man, to basically celebrate your anniversary on the airwaves of your city. Very, very dope. That's real classy Chance the Rapper. Also, my man, the baby, he might be in a little more trouble than he thinks, because, over the weekend he got in trouble for slapping a female. Well, it seems like he's laughing and joking about it. And she was on TMZ today, and I can honestly say I smell a big lawsuit coming. And last but not least, maybe we'll finally get the long-awaited J Electronica album. Maybe. We've been waiting 10 years, so we're going to see. All right, that's hip-hop news. I gave y'all celebrity birthdays. I told you about our sponsors. And now it's time for me to do what I enjoy doing most, and that's giving you the people on the street. And the day is no different than any other day on the Ridin Durty show. So we got a very, very dope artist on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Ridin Durty platform, Mr. Chris Valencrime. What's going on, my G?
What's up, my brother? How you doing, man?
Man, maintaining, trying to keep it positive and trying to stay corona-free.
I completely understand. There's corona propaganda everywhere.
No doubt. So look, let's start it off by saying, by you letting the people know first and foremost, where is Mr. Chris Valencrime from, and definitely let me know what's up with that name.
I am from Jackson, Mississippi, originally from Laurel, which is south from Jackson. Honestly, man, I don't know where that came up with. I believe when I was in high school, I used to be kind of on some street type activity, and I believe somebody just called me Valencrime one day, and it just kind of stuck with me. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of the that's the platform and the brand that I'm going to launch this off of. So I kind of just stuck with it, man. People call me Crime, people call me Valencrime, people call me Chris, people call me Valentine. I mean, my government name is Valentine, so it kind of came easily.
No doubt. Well, I got to say this, especially knowing what I know about Jackson, Mississippi, and at one point in time, Jackson, Mississippi was the murder capital of the world. So, not saying you got anything to do with not saying you got anything to do with anything like that, but you definitely come from an area that was once known for its crime.
Well, you already know when there's coal under pressure, there's going to be some diamonds there. So we got a lot to live up to here. Yeah, there's some crazy shit going on, but I mean, ultimately, it's just, if you're from Mississippi, you're from Mississippi. I think there's just more people here. And I mean, you kind of just, if you live in Jackson, you know the places to go and the areas to stick, just like anywhere else. I feel like that's just like big city life. You know what I mean? Just urban crime and stuff like that.
No doubt. So look, when did you decide to break into the music business?
Honestly, man, I have been, like, dabbling in music since I was probably in junior high when I got a guitar. And then you can fast forward about, probably 10 to 15 years later, I'd always kind of dabbled, but I never really got into it. I've always been obsessed with rap. And then I got in some trouble, and when I was on house arrest through this trouble that I got in, I decided that I was going to start writing, and I was really going to get into rapping. 'Cause, I mean, before then, the extent of my rapping career was riding around, smoking blunts, freestyling in the truck, you know what I'm saying? So after that, when I was on house arrest, I'm like thinking, well, I don't want to download this YouTube beat and then make a banger and then be locked into figuring out how I can buy this beat or, you know, who I need to track down when I don't have a budget. So when I was on house arrest, I taught myself how to make beats. And so that's kind of like my niche as an artist is I self-produce everything. Except for the past 5 years, that's what I've been doing is just creating songs. And I've gone through different phases of like kind of learning more about producing and then learning more about the lyrical side of things and then the performance side of things. So it's taken a while, but now I feel like I'm up to par where I need to be as an artist.
All right. Who are some of your inspirations when it comes to the music?
Honestly, I mean, I kind of just grew up on like Jay-Z, Kanye, Kid Cudi, but I would say now a lot of my inspirations are going to be local artists. Like, you know, you got Dear Silas, you got Dev Mac, you got, I mean, and like honestly, when you asked me that question, the funny thing is I was thinking earlier, and more than anything, I spend a lot of time just listening to music I've already created or just instrumentals because I'm just obsessed with like finding cadences and feeling sounds and finding poetry. It's like as I've gotten older and more developed, I don't really listen to as much music anymore. It's like I have influence, and trust me, I like to listen to music, but for the most part, I'm just making music.
Okay. Do you feel like listening to what's current could possibly curb your creativity a little bit?
I mean, I listen to some stuff that's current, and I'm always down to try and draw inspiration from stuff like, hey, I'd like to make a song like this, but I mean, for the most part, it adds a small percentage of creativity to the process, but I feel like the way that I make music and the sounds that I look for are just like so intergalactic already that it just kind of gets straight to the point when I'm searching for something. A lot of times I'll create something and it'll sound like something that I've heard before, or someone else has heard before.
Okay, no doubt. Now, when we think of other artists or when we think of the music by Chris Valencrime, what do you want your fans to take away from you as an artist?
I just want them to take away that you can pretty much do and create anything you want, and really setting trends is just about being comfortable in your own skin and setting your own vibe and being yourself. And like to me personally, I mean, yes, I am a rapper, but I'm also like just a musician. So I'm kind of getting into like a little bit of genre bending and like kind of like an altered Post Malone type Jackson, Mississippi version. Like, I don't even really know yet. So it's like, don't have limits and just go with the feeling. Don't be so obsessed with creating something you think it needs to be. Oftentimes I go into the studio and I'm like, I want to make a club banger. But then like, I'm feeling kind of emotional, and then we pull up Addictive Keys at 88 beats per minute, and I just play it 2 emotional chords, and I'm like, oh, and then all of a sudden, you know, so just go with your heart. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. All right, now, do you feel like as an artist, do you feel like you need to be a role model?
Absolutely, man. I mean, I feel like that there's a lot of artists that set different examples, and I would consider myself to be an influencer in the area just because I care about the community and I care about the stuff that I put out. And I think it's important to set an example, even in the sense of like what you're talking about or what you're trying to say. You know, just make it where it's relative to somebody, where it makes sense, and it can give them like a lot of the stuff that I talk about. It's like, it's stuff I've struggled with through addiction and relationships and just like finding your footing, and however that may be, if it's lyrically or sonically or just through your actions. Like, ultimately, I feel like you can listen to my music and tell where my moral compass is at. Not to say that other people or other rappers make music and they don't have that, but sometimes it's a little bit more, I guess, I don't know, can be a tendency to be more negative. And I just like to just at least remain positive with the message, even if it's one bar to offset 3 random bars that I have, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes all the sense in the world. And you mentioned battling with addiction. And it seems like a lot of artists now are succumbing to their addiction or battling addiction. Why do you think that's so prevalent in today's, especially hip-hop scene?
Honestly, because drugs and hip-hop and music go hand in hand culture-wise. And a lot of times I think people get crushed into that feeling, that false feeling of comfort, and it's really easy to, instead of thinking about and dwelling on the things that they've gone through and trying to heal through them or properly heal through them, it's easy to find something that's just something you can ingest, which is like pressing a button that puts you in neutral and just kind of you coast through things, and maybe it silences the thoughts out in your head a little bit. But ultimately what ends up happening is it self-destructs because it's like accrued interest. It's just like a dam waiting to break. You know what I'm saying? You keep ignoring it. You keep patching it. Yeah, it helps you right then, or you think it helps you, or maybe it physically makes you feel like you're being helped. But then it's like, then you have a crisis moment, and then all hell breaks loose. So I think I think culturally, our generation, there's more widely an availability of drugs as well, and that's why it's so prevalent in the culture.
Yeah, I definitely can understand that. Being someone who's battled addiction, what would be your words of advice or encouragement to those who might be battling addiction and going to eventually listen to your music?
I would just tell them to never stop believing, and to know that anybody can come back from an addiction, and that really and truly you're always going to be at war, and you're going to be at war with yourself and your mind. So it's a battle every day, and you have to get up and understand that even when you get past that point where you might have physical, addiction to something, or even a psychological, like there's a whole nother world out there of not being addicted to stuff, where you have to find your footing and move up in the world. And there's a surplus of people that want to help you, and there's messages that you can find and stuff like my music and other people's music that can guide you and help you get to certain points and move yourself up higher. Because I know that I've been in a really low place before, and it's taken a lot of time to heal and to properly train myself to get out of that. But there's always hope. You just have to it's just about finding that good energy. There's people that want to help everywhere, just like there's people that want to sell you drugs. There's people that want to help you find yourself and not, completely be lost. I mean, it's all about just finding your navigation and going where you're destined to go, not where you think you need to go. It's almost just like, really and truly, to me, drugs are like a materialistic thing, and I don't believe in being corruptible. Like my mind, I feel like my mind is not corruptible. I don't care about drugs or things or money. Like, everything applies to something, but it's all about just keeping a clear mindset and knowing that basic principles should not corrupt your mindset.
Okay, let's talk about your project Valencrime 2.0.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Valencrime 2.0. Go ahead.
Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so Valencrime 2.0 was released on Halloween of this year, and it is basically, it's about a year worth of recording, which I would say, in the past two and a half years, I've probably recorded, who knows, man, probably a couple, maybe 100, 150 songs. And when I say recorded, they might be partial songs. They might be finished. They could have been recorded at my house when I was on house arrest. They could have been recorded at a studio. But I've been working specifically at a studio in Jackson for about the past almost year and a half. And the reason why it was Valencrime 2.0 was because I had, I believe, 6 or 7 songs before, and I was getting ready to release it. And right when I was getting ready to release it, I think I just made a song that was better than all the other songs, or that I thought was better. And then it just made me reevaluate. And I was like, you know what? I don't really want to rush this. And I feel like I've leveled up as an artist, and I've gotten better. So I ended up pulling three or four tracks out of it, and then plugging in three or four new tracks. And that's why it's called Valencrime 2.0. But basically, every track on there is self-produced. Like, a lot of times I make anywhere from 70 to 93% of the beat, and I'll start it at my house, and then I'll just I might have the hook, or I might even have the verses in the whole song, and then I'll take that to a studio session where my producer engineer homie, we both use Logic. I'll airdrop him the project, and then we'll finish it out from there. So that's how I make every track. I've never listened to YouTube beats or producers send me beats sometimes, but I've never had one that I just was like, oh, I'm in love with this. I'm always more in love with what I can create. So, like, I'll just start the beat and create the beat, or we'll create the beat in the session, and then that's how we create songs, which I know a lot of artists, some artists do that, but not a lot of artists are really self-producing. I know, like, Russ. I know, like, 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I know J. Cole did a high percentage of his own production. I know that, like, I think on the new Eminem album, I believe he's starting to do that. But yeah, like, that's kind of what I enjoy the most. Is I'm just addicted to creating. But Valencrime 2.0 is ultimately the result of a year of just creating in Jackson and finding inspiration and making bangers.
No doubt. Now, you have a record that we're going to play to end this segment, and it's called The Good Life. Tell me a little bit about that record.
Okay, so The Good Life is kind of like the never-ending chase for the things that you think you need, or the feeling you think you need, whether it be a girl or a drug, or a lot of it plays into what we just talked about. It's like the hook is, I can't face all my problems because I need a taste of the good life. I could sit and tell you lies, but I might be straight this one time. I only want to feel you next to me. My heart skips a beat. It's never too late to take another day. Let's live tonight. Like, it's basically, to me, because I'm single, so it's like the woman I resemble could also be like a substance. Okay. So it kind of falls in between those two things. Some of the specifics may lean one way or the other, but it's kind of about living like you feel like there's something better, for you, but you're pushing your means that you're not really there, but you're just pushing it anyway. Like, basically, you're lost, but you're doing everything you can to meet that entry level of the life that you think you need, which really living in abundance is something that's more psychological than it is monetary or materialistic.
All right. Now, I have to ask, we live in the World Wide Web era. How has the internet or social media helped you or hurt you when it comes to pursuing music and pushing your music?
Honestly, I think the internet is a great tool, and social media, I think it just takes time to figure out how to work it. And really, statistically, it's just about hours and the amount of hits that you put out and songs you put out and content. I'm getting more to the point where, like, if you follow my social media, which is Valencrime, you're going to see I'm just creating content that a lot of it is just like entertainment, to where I feel like now in this day and age, it's not good enough to just be an artist with good music. That's like a quarter of what it is. It's about being an interesting person and being vulnerable and letting people see who you actually are. And that's kind of what I've been trying to focus on, is being more personable with my content, and then having kind of outside of the box content.
All right. Well, look, again, let the people know how to find you. Let them know how to get their hands on Valencrime 2.0, and do me a favor and introduce the record to the world.
Okay. So yeah, my name is Chris Valentine. You can find me on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Valencrime, Valencrime. This is one of my favorite bangers off of my project, Valencrime 2.0, The Good Life. And it is essentially just telling you that don't try and live above your means. Just be yourself, because you might be in a never-ending chase. So, but yeah, so this is The Good Life off of Valencrime 2.0.
Appreciate it, my G.
I appreciate you, brother.
I can't face all my problems 'cause I need a taste of the good life. I could sit and tell you lies, but I might be straight this one time. I only wanna feel you next to me. Girl, I touch you, my heart skips a beat. Yeah, it's too late to take another day. Let's live tonight.
By the Mercedes, go pass out the lot. We're trying to get crazy, just catching the bus. I am so reckless, you're so fine. No more impressions, we are undressing. Interstate 10, down memory lane. I feel like I know you've been hoping and praying. I'm fixing to show you, but we gon' make it. I feel the connection, this is a blessing. Go take a marker and let's say the date. No medication, love numbing the pain. Birthplace of music, others are clueless. We're gonna do this, it must be our fate. Too much confusion, exiting optional. No convolution, maneuver the obstacles. Future of everything, all up to us. Mission no longer impossible.
I can't face all my problems 'cause I need a taste of the good life. I could sit and tell you lies, but I might be straight this one time. I only wanna feel you next to me. Girl, I touch you, my heart skips a beat. Yeah, it's too late to take another day. Let's live tonight.
I think I love you, but this room is limited. I think I really forgot what forgiveness is. A little bit of pomegranate burst bees, wax in my pocket. No time to reminisce when you run out of options. 150 is zip lines crossing, don't be a hostage. The name of the game is survival, be cautious. Text me when you get home, text it on a flip phone to spin on. I've been finessing things like a Flintstone, a skit stone. I need a crisp on my lips on. She unbuttoned my trousers and she let out a big moan. Now it's a blessing that I'm healthy. Instead of popping pills, feeling helpless. I don't think you understand the hell I've seen.
I can't face all my problems 'cause I need a taste of the good life. I could sit and tell you lies, but I might be straight this one time. I only wanna feel you next to me. Girl, I touch you, my heart skips a beat. Yeah, it's too late to take another
90
day.
seconds.
Let's live tonight.
Words like dragon glass, we ain't having that. Take your average ass, see your way up back. Sack of your weird, this sack of weed will bring closure to your financial needs. What is he talking about? His words hit me like a needle. Up at the ass, crack a doll, making beats. Flexing my words, flying around like an eagle. Next thing you hear, he a rapper and a singer. Bitch, please, I manifest my destiny. Yo, two-tone mixes don't really impress me. Bitch, please, I manifest my
60
destiny.
seconds.
Yo, two-tone laces don't really impress me. Pass this down to my grandkids in investment. I never really had shit, but I'll always have this. It shows what you can do when you're active. Stay low-key, always implement action. I was unhealthy a bit, now I see. I do it for myself without distractions.
One time for my man Chris Valentine, a.k.a. Valencrime, all right? This is the Ridin Durty Show. It's yours truly, Vic XL, and y'all definitely check me out tomorrow at 5 p.m. Yeah!